Good morning, friends at SUU. Tony Pellegrini here with our Elevating the K-12 Classroom, a legacy of teacher preparation at SUU. We are excited to have you tune in today to listen along with us and participate in this conversation. Elevating the Classroom, a legacy for teacher preparation at SUU is a podcast series dedicated to celebrating and exploring the century-long tradition of teacher preparation at Southern Utah University. This series will highlight the vital relationship between pre-service teachers and experienced master-mentor teachers in K-12 schools in Utah and beyond. By sharing stories and insights from both sides of this partnership, this podcast aims to underscore the impact of this collaboration on teaching and learning at SUU. We've assembled a great little group, a great little cohort here. Again, Tony Pellegrini, Department Chair of Teacher Education here at Southern Utah University. I've invited Laureen Graves as well to participate with us. Laureen, can you take a moment or two and introduce yourself, please?
You bet. So, yes, my name's Laureen Graves, and I also am the Teacher Education Department. I'm the Field Services Director and faculty member there. I am focused on getting our students out into the field and direct the student teaching. And I also teach the secondary block for right before student teaching, getting them into classes and preparing them for student teaching and for their teaching journey.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. I come from, my husband and I both teach at SUU here, and before SUU, I was almost 10 years in a special education room in the high school. So I bring that experience to help my students get prepared.
And we need it. Our learners absolutely need your passion and attention to their learning needs. Our special guest today is Dr. Prent Klag, former dean of the College of Education. And on a personal note, I think you were on my selection committee 100 years ago.
We got you.
Prent, could you tell us a little about your background?
Sure. Trying to make it brief. I came originally to Utah to go to school at Utah State, got my bachelor's and master's there, and I worked at the college there for 15 years, was the director of the lab school, and had a great experience. But there came a time when I wanted to kind of expand things, and in 1998, a position opened up here at the SUU, and so I applied and fortunately got it. And it's been that way since then. So I've been here for 26 years, and it's been great experience.
It has been absolutely a wonderful experience. I've prepared some questions. Laureen and I have prepared some questions for Prent. We'd like to start, Prent, with kicking off here. Over your 26 years and even beyond that, through your time up at Utah State, how has the evolution of educational philosophy and teaching methods influenced SUU's approach to teacher preparation throughout its history? Certainly, the approaches are a little bit different than the late 1990s.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I came down here, because Utah State, of course, is a research institution. They, of course, do quality teaching, but I wanted to focus on a place where teaching was the goal. And SUU has always had that. Their motto of lifelong learning has always promoted teaching as being the quality thing. And I remember an experience a long time ago when Ward Gubler was a former faculty member, and he was also a former principal. But the reason he came here was kind of similar, but it was mainly because of the practitioner-based program that SUU had. And this is what I remember him saying, in kind of paraphrase. He said, I came here because of the experience that SUU provides its teachers. I want to have teachers who come with boots on the ground, ready to make a difference by knowing how to manage and discipline students, develop quality hands-on learning, be flexible, and make well-informed decisions. He felt that the teacher training program at SUU was the one that did that. And I have to agree, it's been one of the most fabulous programs that I think has been developed over the state.
Thank you so much, Laureen. I want to pick on you for just a moment. That practitioner-based instruction, do you see that today in your experience with your learners?
Absolutely. I just got back Friday evening. I took 30 of our secondary block learners up to Davis County School District. We were in Clearfield High School for the week, and that provided an excellent opportunity for them, full immersion just for 1 week, but it gave them that feeling of what does it feel like to be a teacher, and kind of help build their stamina as they prepare for student teaching. We had just a wonderful experience. Davis County gave us the royal treatment, and there are wonderful teachers in Clearfield High School that opened up their classrooms to our students, allowed them to teach in their rooms, modeled great teaching, and it was a fantastic experience.
That is wonderful. And I see it in our student teachers across the state. I'm lucky enough to work with our student teachers, preparing them for their endorsement and their licensing, and the conversations that I have with their mentors and with the student teachers are just so profound. Yeah. I concur with you, Prent. It is a wonderful opportunity for our learners to grow and develop.
I know the elementary program does the same thing, taking them. They actually get 2 weeks in a school, and we'll continue those practicum experiences until student teaching. So.
I think that's a common passion among all our faculty is
Yes.
that practical experience. It's not just theoretical from the textbooks.
One thing, Tony, let me just
Please,
add on a little bit.
please.
I remember there was a secondary ed student, I think her name was Sarah, and she was a non-traditional student. She had a family, she had to work, she had obligations. She looked all around the state to try to find a program that was best to meet her needs. And finally, when she came to SUU, she found that this was the place that everything clicked, all the boxes clicked. And these were some of her comments, which I thought was really interesting. She said, at SUU, there was a focus on the individual. There was not only high-quality instruction, but there was a range of, as she mentioned, field experiences and internships. She had undergraduate research opportunities, and most importantly, she had career placement. When she finished, she was able to get a job. So I thought that was an outstanding comment made by Sarah.
I think that is replicated in many of our learners. Absolutely, those same feelings apply to many of our learners across the program. I'd like to change the tack just a little bit. And again, Prent, as a longstanding faculty member and leader in the College of Education, how have you seen or viewed the role of community engagement and partnerships in the development of SUU's teachers' preparation initiatives?
Great question. And Tony, over my career, I found that partnerships and engagement is probably one of the most essential things that colleges and schools need to get involved with. They build trust, they build open communication, there's a commitment for the whole educational community to benefit at large by leveraging the strengths and abilities of all. And I think over the years I've seen so many of these, and I'll try to go over a few. If I get hit too many, just tell me to stop. But
You're doing great. You keep it up.
SUU's had long-standing partnerships with Iron, Washington, Kane, Beaver, all the districts in southern Utah. They provided recruitment. They provided placement of teachers. They've done job fairs. They've done in-service and professional development. And that has continued over all the years that I've been here, and I'm sure it started much before that. Another key partner was the State Board and Office of Education. I know that over the years, the state superintendent and many of the curriculum leaders were very supportive of SUB evolved in improving in educational endorsements, working with revisions on the core curriculum, and most importantly, serving on joint committees to improve teacher quality. That's a critical thing because then we have a view and vision for the state and some of the directives they want us to go. We've had this partnership with the College of Continuing and Professional Studies and the Cedar Mountain Science Center, which was initiated. This also involves the National Park Service and outdoor resources, and the whole purpose was to give elementary kids, as well as pre-service teachers and teachers in service, opportunities out in the field to learn about nature, to learn about the environment. It's been going on for 20-plus years, and each year it gets better and better. Probably one of the biggest programs, this is one I'd like to brag about, is our MED cohort program. We started about in 2004. Going back a little ways, in 1992, SUU got its university status, and shortly after that, the name was changed to Southern Utah after many iterations of different university names. But this cohort that was started in 2004 was for northern Utah school districts, and it highlighted Nebo, Provo, Alpine, Granite, all those. And the key idea is that those teachers desired to have a master's degree. Some wanted to have the administrative supervisory license, and they also wanted other endorsements like ESL, reading and math, and so forth. So we took programs to them. We eventually evolved to being online in nature. And I think the most outstanding thing were the comments we received from superintendents and district personnel. They were so satisfied with the outcomes of the program. They felt there was measurable evidence that it improved the teaching quality in their schools. They liked the collegiality and collaboration that was supported. And they really liked working with us at SUU. And it's continued for years, and I think that's a big thing. I could probably go on and on. Nevada, we've created partnerships with Nevada, College of Southern Nevada, and hopefully those will continue to grow because there's a rich resource there. And again, I think that if the college can engage in partnerships and continue to culture these things, it'll not only help with building programs, but building goodwill and service. So,
You've made me think of a little comment that I share with my grandchildren quite often. Kids, you can't have too many grandparents. What you've shared with us is we really can't have too many collaborations or connections, can we?
No, and they're tough to build. I mean, you have to have the support of faculty and staff. You have to have the support of everybody engaged, including the university. And they have to be cultured. I mean, it's just like caring for grandkids. They want to be left alone too often. So,
thank you so much, Laureen. I know I'm putting you on the spot. You're not prepared, but can you tell us a little about our collaboration with San Juan County that you've been involved with over the last couple of years?
Absolutely. For the last 2 years, we've been able to take students to Monument Valley High School to help them see a school that has different contextual factors and a different culture, to help them think about all of the things that impact learning in their classrooms. And they've opened up their doors to us. We were able to come in. They welcomed us with open arms. We were able to get into their classrooms. We were able to participate in various things within the community. And it's such a beautiful thing to have that partnership and have them welcome us in, and for the students to be able to learn from that beautiful culture and how to become better teachers by addressing different learner needs and different learner backgrounds. As we built the collaboration this last week with Davis County, they really treated our students. They felt very valued. And they're recruiting them and want them to come to their district. And I think that really boosted their confidence and helped them see how valuable they are, how teachers are needed. And it's just it's a great thing to help our learners. But these partnerships are wonderful. And we are so grateful. We are constantly asking things of Iron County right here where we live, and they are open. And the principals, I'm just about ready to meet with them again to set our next semester's student teaching placements. And they are always so gracious and open and do the best that they can to place our students with great teachers and make sure that that's a great experience for them.
Thank you so much for all you do. It's just an exciting time, not only for our students, but for the districts and for us as faculty to meet our learners' needs. There's so much positive going on in education. Just like two sides of the coin, there's always a positive side and there's a challenging side. Prent and Laureen, what challenges has teacher preparation, has our program faced over the years? How have those challenges been addressed and overcome?
okay, big question, Tony. Thanks.
You don't have to go through all of them. Maybe just one or two.
Well, all universities have their challenges, and just like any place. At SUU, though, over the time that I've been here, there's a couple that kind of stand out for me. And not to be critical or anything, because things happen, but funding for teacher education is a huge one. All the institutions in the state are vying for funding. We're a smaller institution. It makes it more difficult sometimes to vie for some of the funding that the bigger institutions have. But if we're going to be successful and continue in the future, funding has to be a priority. The college has to make a compelling case that they need funds, not only for salaries for faculty and staff, but for accreditation processes, for needed technology, resource enhancement, program improvements, recruitment of faculty and staff, and all the other vital needs that are out there. They also need the autonomy to make decisions that are unique to the college. Several years ago, we had some collaborative agreements with Nevada and other places that were kind of a profit-sharing agreement that allowed the college to receive some funds as well as the university. While those were occurring, we were able to do things that we weren't able to do before because we had additional funds. But there needs to be a new model probably created that helps that, along with seeking donors, seeking research grant opportunities, and the creation of ways to help enhance more funding. So funding's a big issue. Another one that I think that's been tricky over the years is turnover. There's been turnover in terms of administration at the university and at the college. That's natural. There's always change. But unfortunately, when that change occurs, sometimes there's completely new visions that come up. We've gone through the process of being a comprehensive regional university to a liberal arts university to a variety of other things. And it's hard for faculty and everyone to kind of understand, what am I doing? What's my marching orders? So I would propose that the College of Ed and SUU need to select a mission and vision that's unique to them. They have their own unique mark that they can make. They need to hold to that core values and maintain focus and direction for a longer period of time than just a few years and then change. Also, I think sometimes the SUU is seen as a stepping stone for some leaders. They come in, make their mark, and then they want to go on to more loftier positions, which is natural. But in the time that gap is there, there's often confusion, and we need to have continuity and stability. The last thing is recruitment. I think if teacher education is to grow, we need to recruit students from all around the state and region. And there's a variety of ways we could do this. At one time, we were the second largest producers of teachers ed in the state. Again, with changes, there was funding that was pulled, and there was changes in direction, and so things didn't happen. But we need to enhance recruitment by increasing the availability of online teacher preparation at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. We need to widen the scope of teacher education program to a surrounding region, not only in Nevada, maybe western Colorado, maybe southern Idaho. It depends. We don't want to horn in on other people's territory, but we have a great thing to offer. And third, we need to market more. The college needs to market its program through not only social media, but a wide range of other resources. So those are just three. There's probably some more, but that's enough.
Those are great. Those are great starts. So as Prent was visiting or sharing, Laureen, one of the things that came to my mind was your passion and engagement with our colleges, our TED's mission and vision, and the work that you and John and others are doing on that. Would you be willing to take a moment and just share a little bit about your vision of how we see that mission moving forward?
Absolutely. Yeah, John Meisner, and there's others that have been working on this. We clearly see that we have to have a mission and a vision to be able to move forward, and that's clear, and all faculty members have buy-in on that mission and vision. And so we are working on that. One of the things I personally have been working on, because one of the main things that I teach my teachers is to focus on relationships. So first see the good and then focus on the relationships. And I say that 1,000 times throughout the semester. But as they focus on, I teach them to focus on relationships. I want to also model that. And so in the College of Education, I also sponsor the Education Club with Stacy Hurst, and we collaborate with them and create activities and work together with them and build that relationship, right? And then we've had other activities where we can spend time so that students see that we do prioritize relationship. So I think that's really important. Another thing that you mentioned is the online program, and I think we have, post-COVID, we have answered the call to that with our elementary program, has created an online program so that more students are able to get licensure through the LED online program. And so that's been a fantastic thing. We know that face-to-face is best, and we'll still stand by that. We love to be face-to-face in a classroom, but if it means more students can become teachers through this alternate route or different route, we definitely want to work on that. And we're still working to make that as good as it can be. But those that are doing it are doing an excellent job.
Laureen, thank you so much for your observations. It's so very helpful. We've talked about some of the wonderful things, some of the challenges we might have. Really, this podcast series invites us to step to the future and to look to the future. What a wonderful, bright future we have before us as teacher educators. Looking ahead, Laureen, Prent, what do you envision for the future of teacher preparation here at SUU? How can the lessons that we've learned from the past that we've gone over today really inform that vision for the future? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, but they're big. I mean, and my ideas are just my ideas. And again, current leadership in the college certainly is going to take the college wherever they feel is best. But in my experience, that's the key thing. You've got to have visionary, innovative, and committed leaders to the College of Education. Those who understand the program, understand the needs of the students in Utah and other places, and are willing to go forward to do whatever they can to build the program. And that's critical. And it's not just the dean and the department chairs. Everybody is basically a leader in the college. They all stand out in their own areas. So that's a big area. Another thing is, over time, SUU has had a little difficulty recruiting highly qualified faculty who've had previous experience in colleges and universities. Not that that's the only kind of experience, but as a university, we have certain goals and things we have to accomplish. And without that understanding, it's tough. Although, being in Cedar, there's economic, social, and other factors that prevent people from coming in from outside of the state. So here's some ways maybe they could incentivize programs. There could be financial as well as non-financial incentives made to faculty, flexible work arrangements, customization of their roles, and maybe ongoing professional development, or just to name a few, to draw people in. The other thing I think that's important is we live in a very challenging world, and conditions change all the time. So the college needs to be nimble to adjust to that. Not that they have to adjust to everything that changes, but they got to have understanding of research on best practices, the nature of the learner, and how schools are changing. Schools are changing dramatically. And if we're going to take those into the 21st century, we've got to be able to adjust. The last thing is probably being an advocate. People in the College of Education need to advocate not only what we do well, but advocate at state and national forums, belong to organizations and associations, and to become influencers to advance education, especially teacher education. And they have to stay on top of current trends and innovations. So those are just a few. There's probably some others, but again, I think SUU has the foundation and the basis for continuing in the future, just with marvelous things.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the future. Laureen, where would you like to see us go in the next 10 years?
Yeah, I love the direction we're going. As I started about 3 years ago, I've loved getting to know each of the faculty members and seeing how they bring their strengths to the teacher education department. We all are very different, but I feel like everyone has these passions and strengths that make it a better place and is better for our students. We also have Dean Pam Powell, who has an absolute student-focused vision, and she is here to serve students, but also she makes each one of us as faculty feel very valued and seen, heard, and valued. And that's something that we want to then model as faculty and teach our students, that everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. As we worked up in Davis County, we worked on having an awareness with our students for culturally responsive teaching. And that's something, just having that awareness of how to make everyone feel valued and seen. That's something where we want to continue to work and create that awareness and better teachers for it. And I think, just to continue to be aware of that it is, becoming a teacher is challenging, and we need to build resilience in our students, build it in ourselves and then in our students, so that and build these opportunities that are positive, so that when they start their teacher journey, they feel prepared, and that we've built resilience in them and they're ready to go, so that they won't burn out because they know the strategies and the things to do to protect themselves, so that they can have a joyful, long teaching journey.
Thank you so much for that vision, Laureen. And really, that's kind of where I'd like to kind of wrap up and leave some words of advice for our pre-service teachers that will be listening to this, also for our mentor teachers. And let me just kind of share a model for you for mine, then we'll go to you, Lee, and we'll let you wrap up at the end, Prent. But, if I could have an opportunity to touch the hearts or minds or the ears of our pre-service teachers, I would encourage them, just as you have said, Laureen, to endure to the end. Endure through the process. Don't endure to the middle. Endure and make sure that your investment in yourself through education is paying dividends for those with whom you come in contact as teachers or as peers of others. It's a great profession. It's served me well. I think it served both of you as well, too, to be able to touch the lives and hearts of our learners. But don't give up. Don't give up. It's a wonderful opportunity to grow and develop. Laureen, I'm going to pick on you. Any last-minute words of wisdom, ideas that you'd care to share for our listeners?
Absolutely. I think some of our pre-service teachers question, am I good enough? Can I do this? And I just say, absolutely, you can. We can't, I think the best way to move forward is to not compare ourselves to anyone else. We don't want to match anyone else's teaching style or the way that they connect with students. We need to be authentic in what we do. That's something that is how we roll, right? And so, I just say to all of our pre-service teachers, you are enough. Now, are you going to be the best you're ever going to be in this moment? No, probably not. You're going to continue to evolve and grow and learn. I'm still doing that, Tony. You're still doing that. We both, it's never done. The learning is never done. We're lifelong learners. But I just want them to know that they are enough. And it can feel scary stepping into that classroom and thinking I am in charge of all the learning and all of these students in this room. It can feel a little bit overwhelming, but just take it one lesson at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and pretty soon you'll get more experience under your belt, and just know that it will get easier. But as we talked about at the very beginning, use the resources. There's so many resources that we have available for SUU students, and then our districts have amazing resources. There's more learning coaches, and there's just things in place to set you up for success. So just have those positive thoughts about yourself that you can do it, and then use those resources and just keep seeing the good and focus on relationship, and then everything else will fall into place.
That is wonderful. Prent, please wrap it up for us. What words of wisdom do you have?
I don't know. She covered it all.
She
great.
does, doesn't she?
I guess one thing is sometimes education gets the hits in the media. Teachers in schools get hit by this and that and everything, and can kind of be depressing. And, of course, COVID wasn't the best experience to have to manage through. But I think Laureen said it best when she talked about joyful teaching and learning. Teaching is a joy. It should be fun. It should be enjoyable. It shouldn't be laborious and workful, and it is, but I enjoyed teaching. I had the most fun when I was a teacher. You can be creative. You can use your own skills and expertise. You can learn to love and work with the students. And I would advise anybody looking for a career that teacher education is powerful. I mean, I look back on my career, I couldn't think of a better career that I could have been in. Now, had it gone through changes? Sure. And I advise anybody who was in teacher education to do your best, but then as things change and as you change, look for other opportunities. You could be an assistant principal, you could be a principal, you could be a curriculum director. There's so many options for people in teacher education that I think they don't get pigeonholed just sometimes in teaching. But I think teaching's a joy, and I just hope that people will consider looking at that for a career.
I love ending with joy. I think that's wonderful.
Can I just add really quickly?
Absolutely, please.
As our students see that we feel real joy as we're teaching them, they're going to find joy in learning. And then I love what you said. So many of the negative stories are what's told and what's seen. And I encourage all of our teachers and our student teachers to share your positive stories. Share all the good that's happening in public education, in your classroom. Share the good. Because there's great things happening via Instagram. There's just so many ways to share those positive stories. And I think if we can push more of those positive stories out there, we can let the public know that there's great people in public education that are trying and working hard to make it a great experience and to help our students in every way possible.
And that's one of the reasons why I wanted this podcast series to go, is because I wanted to share those positive, wonderful opportunities that we have to build others up. So friends out there, the Elevating the K-12 Classroom, a legacy of teacher preparation at SUU, will not only honor the longstanding tradition of excellence here at Southern Utah University, but also shed light on the powerful connections that shape the future of education that you've heard today. Through engaging content and these compelling stories, this podcast will provide valuable insights into the transformative journey of pre-service teachers and their mentors, celebrating their shared commitment to fostering educational excellence. Thank you so very much for listening. We'll be back next month, and please tune in.
Thank you, Prent.
Thank you, Prent.
Thanks, everybody.